Now, the question is, what will happen in the voltage between point C and D if R1 and R2 is not anymore equal to R3 over R4? Now you will have a voltage here. And basically here, if you look at it from the perspective of the sensor, now R1 or R2 or any of the other resistors is a sensor that we set it originally at a balance mode. So there is no voltage here and the voltage is equal to 0. Now, once you start to apply your physical phenomena, you are changing the force, you are changing the temperature, then whatever the sensor is, its resistance will be changing. Now, once that resistance will be changing, the other resistors will stay the same. They will not change. But now this relation, it doesn't hold anymore. Now you will have a voltage, and this voltage will be governed by this formula. V out equal to Vs times R3 times R2 minus R1 times R4 divided by the summation of R1 and R2 and R3 and R4. Now, this formula, again, the derivation for this formula will be available, the link for that in the description. Now, what I did here, I came to R2, which is 1 kilo ohm, and I add in series with it only a 10 ohm resistance. So it was originally 1000 ohm. I just added I just added 10 ohm resistance. So it's a very little change here. I want to see the impact of adding this on the voltage between C and D. Now, if you do the calculations here, theoretically the voltage will be around 24.9 millivolt. If the resistance R2 changed from 1000 ohm to 1010. Let's do the measurement now and see this. So here is the Wheatstone bridge. I added, as I said, I added here the resistance, the 10 ohm. This is the 10 ohm resistance. I added in series with the 1000 ohm. So now this will become 1010. So now let's do the measurement here between point C and point D. We have to select the right polarity of the supply, so it's here. So you see here the voltage is how much? Is 26 millivolt, very close to the value that we have. So now we have some measurable voltage. Remember, when it was balanced condition, it was less than 1 millivolt. Question for you guys to think about it. What if I changed R1 instead of R2? What will happen? Think about it for a second. If you go back to the formula here, this is the formula, this is the voltage. So if I changed R1 instead of R2, so it means that R1 will be higher and this quantity will be higher, so that your voltage will be negative. That's all. You will have same voltage or a similar voltage, but with a negative sign. Keep this in mind because this is very important as we will start to implement sensors in the Wheatstone bridge.